It was April 24, 1981, a crisp spring morning in Newton Township, Miami County, Ohio. Three young men were walking along Green Lee Road when one spotted something odd in the ditch, a flash of fringe and buckskin. They approached cautiously. There she lay, curled in a fetal position on her right side, barefoot, no socks, no purse, no ID, nothing to tell who she was. She looked peaceful almost, but the bruises told a different story. The men ran for help. Police arrived quickly. This was no accident. This was murder. The young woman had been strangled after brutal blows to the head and neck. Her liver was lacerated. Death came roughly 48 hours earlier. Who was she? Why here? Investigators stared at the body, knowing the answers were hidden somewhere in her silence. But as they began their search, the real mystery was just beginning. What secret had she carried to this lonely ditch?
The autopsy revealed chilling details. She was Caucasian, 18 to 26 years old, 5'4" to 5'6", 125 to 130 pounds. Reddish-brown hair braided in two neat pigtails with blue rubber bands. Freckles across her face, light brown eyes, ruddy complexion from time outdoors. Her teeth were well cared for, one porcelain crown on an upper incisor. Scars marked her chin, wrist, arms, and ankle, silent signs of a life lived hard. She wore a handmade fringed buckskin poncho with purple lining, a brown turtleneck with orange crisscross, blue Wrangler bell-bottoms, no shoes, no jewelry, high hygiene, no sign of sexual assault. Police nicknamed her Buckskin Girl for the distinctive poncho. Composite sketches went out. Newspapers ran them. TV broadcasts followed. Hundreds of leads poured in, every one dead-ended. She had no fingerprints in any database, no dental match. The silence deepened. Who left her here, and why did no one report her missing? The case was already slipping into the shadows.
Investigators believed she was murdered elsewhere. Her bare feet were clean, no dirt, no scratches, meaning she wasn't killed on that road. Someone drove her here, dumped her near Interstate 75, 5 miles away, a convenient spot for a killer to vanish. She wasn't local. No one recognized her. Theories swirled. A runaway teen, hitchhiker, victim of a lover's rage. Her clothing suggested a free spirit, perhaps traveling across states. Pollen on the poncho hinted at arid Southwest or northern Mexico. Isotopes in her hair showed time in Texas. She had traveled far, but why Ohio? Why Mao? As weeks turned to months, leads dried up. The young woman remained a Jane Doe, buried in Riverside Cemetery with a simple marker. Her family, wherever they were, had no idea. The grave was silent, but somewhere her killer breathed free, and the truth lay buried deeper than her body.
Years passed. The Buckskin Girl case grew cold. Detectives revisited files, but no breakthroughs. In 1985, investigators tentatively linked her to the Redhead murders, a series of killings of red-haired women across the South, many hitchhikers or transients. The killer strangled and beat victims. Similarities existed, but details didn't fully match. The theory faded. Then in 1991, a task force formed to hunt Dr. No, a suspected serial killer targeting young women, often prostitutes. He bludgeoned and strangled, took jewelry, shoes. Buckskin Girl had no jewelry, no shoes. The manner fit, but she was groomed, not a sex worker. No evidence of sex. Contradictions mounted. Was she his first or unrelated? The killer remained a ghost. Meanwhile, technology slept. DNA was new, expensive. The case waited for a miracle. Little did they know, one was coming, but not soon enough. By the 2000s, the internet changed everything. In 2001, a DNA profile was created. By 2008, it entered NamUs, the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. Fingerprints, dental charts uploaded, ruled out 226 missing women. Mitochondrial DNA went to CODIS in 2009. Forensic anthropologist Elizabeth Murray took over in 2010. She kept hope alive. In 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released updated facial reconstructions, one with pigtails, one without. Pollen analysis confirmed arid exposure. Isotopes pinpointed northern Texas. She had wandered far from home. Still, no name. The public saw the sketches, wondered, who was this woman? Why had no family searched? The silence was deafening. Then, in 2017, a new group contacted Murray, the DNA Doe Project. They would change everything. But first, they needed a sample. The blood sample from 1981 was poorly preserved, but the DNA Doe Project extracted it anyway. In March 2018, they uploaded it to GED Match. Within hours, genetic genealogy found a match, a first cousin. The team worked feverishly. On April 9, 2018, the lab confirmed this was Marcia King, born June 9, 1959, in Arkansas, 21 years old when murdered. After 37 years, she had a name. The announcement came April 10. Family learned. Her mother had kept the same phone number, hoping. Brothers grieved anew. Marcia had left Little Rock in 1980, hitchhiking. No missing report. Adult, free-spirited, she vanished into America's highways. Now her body had a name, but her killer, still out there. The grave no longer silent, but the questions screamed louder. Who took her life? Marcia Lenore Sossaman grew up in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Parents divorced young. She took her stepfather's name, King. Reddish-brown hair, freckles, bright smile. She loved adventure. By 19, she hitchhiked, seeking freedom. Last seen 1980. Witnesses placed her in bars, parks. She traveled to Pittsburgh, Louisville. Ties to the Way International, a religious group in Ohio? Possible. 2 weeks before death, seen in Louisville. Days before in Arkansas. Her path twisted. She carried her distinctive buckskin poncho, handmade, purple-lined, a symbol of her spirit. Police rebuilt her timeline, but gaps remained. Who did she meet? Who drove her to Ohio? The killer dumped her like trash, yet her clothing, her care, spoke of dignity. She fought back, bruises proved it, and now with her name back, the hunt intensified.
July 20, 2018. Memorial in Troy. Family gathered. Original investigators attended. Some had carried her casket decades ago. A new headstone, Marcia King. She rests there still, as family believed God's plan. But justice eludes. No suspects named. Theories linger. Abusive partner? Hitchhiking gone wrong? Serial killer? Dr. No remains possible. Hair from scene tested for nuclear DNA. Could reveal killer's identity or companions. Miami County Sheriff's Office vows to continue. New tech, new eyes. Marcia's story spread. Unsolved mysteries in 1992. Podcasts, articles. Public remembers her now. The silent roadside grave speaks. A young woman, full of dreams, cut short. Her killer walks free. Perhaps in the shadows of highways. Perhaps closer than we think. The case is open, and the truth waits.
Imagine the highways of 1980s America. Young people hitchhiked freely. Danger lurked in every ride. Marcia trusted strangers. One ride changed everything. She met someone who turned violent, strangled after beating, liver torn, dumped in a ditch, no shoes, taken as a trophy, or lost in struggle. Her poncho remained. Perhaps the killer didn't care or wanted her identified? No, he left her anonymous. For 37 years, she was Buckskin Girl, a ghost on Greenlee Road. Locals drove past unaware. Then DNA broke the silence. But the killer? He may have seen the news in 2018, felt the chill, wondered if police were closer. They are. Genetic genealogy advances daily. One match could end it. Is he still alive? Still driving those roads? The grave waits for closure.
Marcia's family mourns quietly. Mother kept hope alive. Brothers remember a sister full of life. They learned of her fate late. Grief mixed with relief she was found, but anger at the killer burns. Why no missing report? Adult freedom cost her identity. In 1981, no Amber Alerts, no social media. She vanished quietly. Now her story warns. Hitchhiking risks. Trust carefully. The ditch still exists. Passers-by see nothing, but memory lingers. Investigators pore over files, re-interview witnesses, test hairs. The case breathes again. Marcia's name echoes. Her smile in reconstructions haunts. Who ended it? A stranger? Acquaintance? The answer hides in her last days. Somewhere in Louisville, Pittsburgh, Ohio, the silent roadside grave holds secrets, and they won't stay buried forever.
Marcia's last known movements form a fractured trail. In late 1980, she was spotted in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hitchhiking, staying in transient circles. Witnesses described a friendly young woman with reddish-brown hair, always carrying that fringed buckskin poncho. She spoke of heading west, maybe California dreams. Then she surfaced in Newville, Kentucky, around early 1981. Bar patrons remembered her laughing, drinking lightly, talking about freedom on the road. One man claimed she mentioned joining a religious group, the Way International. Their headquarters sat in New Knoxville, Ohio, not far from where her body was found. Did she ever reach them? Did someone there know her? Police chased that thread hard. Interviews turned up nothing solid. Yet the proximity gnaws. Was her killer someone she met through that circle? Or just a chance encounter on another ride? The trail grows colder, but something feels close.
Back in Arkansas, Marcia's family pieced together fragments after her identification. Her mother remembered the last phone call, Marcia sounding excited, saying she was exploring the country. No mention of danger, no names of people she traveled with. Brothers recalled postcards, sporadic, cheerful. One from Texas, another vague mention of Ohio, then silence. They assumed she was living her free life. In 1981, adults could vanish without red flags, no 24-hour wait for reports, no cell phones pinging towers. She became another statistic, until that ditch in Miami County. Investigators now believe she was killed within days of arriving in Ohio. Bruising patterns suggested a struggle inside a vehicle, perhaps a truck stop, perhaps a quiet rest area off I-75. Someone offered a ride, someone ended it, and someone drove away clean. Who was the last person to see her alive? That answer hides in plain sight.
Forensic clues whisper possibilities. The absence of shoes fascinated detectives. Were they taken as a trophy? Many serial killers collect items. Or did she kick them off during the fight? The poncho stayed, maybe too distinctive to keep. Or maybe the killer didn't see value in it. No sexual assault, yet extreme violence, multiple blows, strangulation, lacerated liver, rage, personal, not random. Or was it? The redhead murders theory resurfaced after her ID. Several victims shared reddish hair, hitchhiking lifestyle, brutal beatings, but most were found farther south, and many showed signs of sexual motive. Marcia didn't. Still, patterns overlap. Could her killer have been experimenting, learning, or was it someone entirely different? A boyfriend, a jealous companion? The DNA from hairs found on her clothing sits in evidence. Nuclear DNA testing could name him or exonerate ghosts from the past. The lab waits.
In 2018, after the name release, tips flooded the Miami County Sheriff's Office. People remembered a girl like that at truck stops, campgrounds, even small-town festivals. One caller swore he picked up a hitchhiker matching her description near Dayton, Ohio, just weeks before April 24. She talked about Arkansas, about wanting to see the ocean. He dropped her safely. Dead end.
Another claimed she stayed at a commune near Sydney. Short-lived group disbanded years ago. Members scattered, no records. Police knocked on doors. Memories faded. Alibis checked out or couldn't be disapproved. Yet one detail lingered. A man who argued with a young woman at a rest area off I-75 in spring of '81. Witnesses saw pushing, heard yelling, then they drove off together. Description vague, vehicle unknown. That argument echoes in investigators' minds. Was that the beginning of the end?
The DNA Doe Project's success with Marcia sparked wider hope. Genetic genealogy revolutionized cold cases. Distant cousins uploaded kits, boom, connection. But identifying the killer is harder. No direct match in CODIS yet. The hairs could be his or hers, transferred innocently, or from the killer's vehicle. Labs prioritize violent crimes now. Marcia's file moves up queues. Meanwhile, family members submitted DNA to help exclude or confirm. Her brothers want answers more than anything. She deserved better, one said in a quiet interview. She was kind, trusting. Someone took advantage. Public fascination grew. Reddit threads, true crime forums dissected every detail. Amateur sleuths mapped her possible route. Louisville to Ohio, only hours by car. Someone drove her there. Someone knew her fate. And someone still knows. The grave in Riverside Cemetery is peaceful now. But peace for her killer? That won't last.
Let's step back to April 1981. Greenlee Road was rural then. Cornfields, scattered houses, little traffic. The ditch where she lay wasn't visible from the highway. Killer chose carefully. Quick dump, easy escape to I-75. No witnesses, no cameras, no tire tracks preserved. Rain that week washed evidence away. Yet one thing remained, her body position. Curled, almost protective, as if she tried to shield herself even in death. Autopsy showed she lived hours after the worst injuries. Conscious, suffering, alone in that ditch. The thought chills. Someone left her there to die slowly, cold, calculated, or panicked. The killer may have checked on her later, or never looked back. Either way, he or they walked free while search parties scoured nearby woods. They never found the murder site, only her. And that silence has lasted decades.
Marcia loved the open road. She wrote in one rare letter home about feeling alive out here. She carried little, just clothes, maybe a small bag never found. No wallet recovered, no ID. Killer took those, or she'd traveled light on purpose. Her buckskin poncho was handmade, perhaps by her, perhaps a gift. Purple lining inside, fringe swaying as she walked. It became her signature. When sketches circulated in '81, people remembered the poncho more than the face. Saw a girl in buckskin near Cincinnati, one tip said. Unconfirmed. Another, she was at a gas station in Troy asking directions, close to the dump site. Did she sense danger? Did she try to get away? Every lead circled back to nothing. But now, with her name known, those old witnesses might remember more. One phone call could crack it wide open.
The Way International angle never fully died. In the late 1970s and early 80s, the group attracted young seekers, free food, community, Bible study with a twist. Marcia's free-spirited nature fit. Some ex-members later described controlling behavior, pressure to stay. Did she attend classes in Ohio? Did she meet someone there who turned violent? Police interviewed former followers, most cooperative, few remembered her. One woman thought she saw a girl with braids at an event. Hair matched, but no name link. The group denied any involvement. Still, the headquarters proximity, less than 30 miles from Greenlee Road, raises hairs. Coincidence or connection? If she joined briefly, someone might have driven her away, angry, jealous, obsessed. The cult-like atmosphere bred secrets, and secrets can kill. Investigators keep that file active. One former member could still hold the key. 20. Family held a second memorial in 2019. Quiet, tearful. Marcia's brothers placed flowers on the new headstone. Marcia Lenore King, June 9, 1959, April 1981. No epitaph hides the truth. She was taken too soon. They speak publicly now, raising awareness, urging anyone with information to come forward. Even small things matter, one brother said. Crime podcasts featured her. Unsolved Mysteries reruns spiked interest. A generation that never knew Buckskin Girl now knows Marcia. Her smile in life photos, found by cousins, haunts viewers. Bright eyes, hopeful, gone in violence. The contrast hurts. Investigators promise this isn't closed. Tips still come. A man in his 70s called last year, claimed he rode with her once. Scared to speak then. Ready now? Every conversation brings them closer. The roadside grave gave up her name. Soon it may give up her killer. And when it does, justice will be loud.
Truck stops along I-75 have always been magnets for drifters. In 1981, they were hubs of quick cash, quick rides, quick danger. Marcia may have stopped at one near Troy or Piqua, places where young women asked for lifts to the next town. A waitress from that era later told investigators she served a girl with pigtails and a fringed poncho. The girl seemed tired, hungry, but polite. Left without paying? No, someone paid for her. A tall man, mid-30s, quiet. They left together in a dark pickup. Description too vague for composites then. Now, it haunts. Was he kind, or the last face she saw? Truckers move constantly. Many from that time are retired, dead, or scattered. One might still remember that night. One might carry guilt. The highway remembers everything, even if men forget.
Marcia's brothers have become quiet advocates. In interviews, they speak softly but firmly. She wasn't running from us. She was running towards something. Freedom. Adventure. They share old photos. Marcia at 18, laughing at a family picnic. Hair and braids even then. The resemblance to the reconstruction sketches is striking. It hurts them to see her reduced to Buckskin Girl for so long. Now they push for more testing.
"Those hairs on her poncho," one brother said. "Test 'em again. Someone's DNA is there." Labs move slowly, budgets tight, but pressure builds. True crime communities rally online, petitions circulate, solve Marcia King. Every share keeps her alive, every post reminds, this killer hasn't won yet. The grave is quiet, the internet is not, and silence breaks eventually. Consider the shoes again. Bare feet, clean soles, no road rash. Theories split detectives. One camp, killer removed them post-mortem, kept as memento. Classic trophy behavior. Another, she lost them fleeing, kicked them off in panic inside a car. A third, darker, he forced her to walk barefoot before the end, to humiliate, to control. No footprints found near the ditch, rain or careful placement. But the detail nags. In other unsolved cases along interstates, shoes vanished too. Signature? Coincidence? If he's a serial offender, other victims might match. Redhead murders again. Some barefoot, some not. Inconsistencies. Yet the rage fits. Marcia fought, hard. Bruises on knuckles, broken nails. She marked him, perhaps. Scratches, blood under nails. Early tests inconclusive. Modern retesting could reveal male DNA, could reveal his type, could reveal everything. A 2020 tip came from an unexpected place. A retired Ohio trucker browsing old case files online. He remembered picking up a hitchhiker in March '81 near Cincinnati. Reddish hair, buckskin jacket, talked about Arkansas. Friendly. He dropped her at a rest area. Harmless, he thought. But days later, he saw sketches on TV. Heart stopped. Same girl? He called anonymously first, afraid of suspicion, then gave full statement. Police traced his route logs. Solid alibi for April 23rd, 24th. Dead end. But he described another man at that rest area, watching her, older, staring, left soon after she did, in a van, no plate, no name, just eyes that lingered too long. That man never surfaced. Perhaps he never will, or perhaps he's watching this story unfold right now. Genetic genealogy keeps advancing. By 2023, distant matches for Marcia's killer profile, if male hairs yield results, could map entire family trees in months. Companies like Family Tree DNA, Ancestry, GED Match grow daily. One cousin's spit kit could doom him. Killers from the '80s never imagined this. They thought time erased evidence. Time didn't. It preserved it. Hair follicles, possible skin cells, semen traces ruled out, but touch DNA lingers. The poncho was folded carefully over her, almost respectful or mocking. Killer psychology fascinates profilers now. Organized, disorganized, rage kill, or planned. The liver laceration suggests blunt force, fists, boot iron, tire iron, personal weapon, not a gun, not clean, messy, emotional. Someone who knew her or hated what she represented, freedom he couldn't have. The profile narrows and narrows. He feels it closing in, even if he denies it to himself.
Marcia spent time in northern Texas, Lubbock area, maybe Amarillo. Isotopes don't lie. Dry air, red dirt. She may have worked odd jobs, waitressing, farm help, transient life. Met men, some kind, some not. One theory, an ex followed her east, obsessive, jealous of her wandering spirit, strangled her when she refused to stay, dumped her far from home to delay discovery. Plausible, but no name, no record. Another, she crossed paths with a traveling salesman type, smooth talker, gave rides for favors. When she said no, violence erupted. Common story then, underreported, unprosecuted. Marcia's case could be one of dozens, or the only one for him. Either way, her death screams warning. Hitchhiking in 1981 was freedom. It was also roulette, and she lost, but the wheel still spins for someone else.
The memorial stone in Riverside Cemetery draws quiet visitors now. Flowers appear regularly, some from strangers moved by podcasts. A small brass plaque reads, Marcia Lenore King, found, named, remembered. No dates of killer's capture, not yet. Locals in Newton Township still drive Greenlee Road, some slow at the spot, feel the chill. Kids hear the story around campfires, the girl in the ditch. It became local legend long before her name returned. Now it's personal, human, a real woman with real dreams, cut short. The community wants closure too, offers reward money, shares flyers. If you know something, posters still hang in diners, faded but present. One day, someone will tear one down and say, it's over. Until then, the road stays haunted, and the grave keeps its second secret. Let's talk suspect profile. Mid-30s to 50s in 1981 would be 70s to 90s now. Likely white male, local to Midwest or frequent traveler on I-75. History of violence, domestic, bar fights, assault, controlling, possessive. May have kept mementos, shoes, jewelry from others. May have bragged to friends years ago, got rid of a problem. Alcohol involved? Drugs? Rage builds with both. Perhaps ex-military, methodical dump site choice, or blue-collar, truck driver, mechanic. Strong hands for strangling. Bruising matches manual force. No defensive wounds on him reported, but he may have scars. Marcia fart, fingernails, teeth marks possible. Someone out there carries marks from April '81, hides them, or shows them off as old war wounds. If he's alive, he's nervous. News of DNA progress hits different now. He changes channels quickly, pretends not to care, but he does. In 2024, a distant cousin uploaded DNA, matched Marcia again. But this time, a branch led to an Arkansas man with a violent past. Police checked, dead since 1995, cleared by timeline. He was incarcerated in March '81. Another false dawn. But each lead refines the search, excludes, narrows. The pool shrinks. Investigators now believe the killer acted alone. No accomplice, too risky for body dump. Solo rage, solo disposal. Confidence in no witnesses. Arrogance. That arrogance may crack him yet. A deathbed confession? A guilty son finding old shoes in a box? Stranger things have solved cases. Marcia's brothers wait, patient, hopeful. We're not giving up, they say. She didn't, and neither will justice. It circles closer every year, every test, every tip. The endgame approaches, slowly, silently, inevitably. Imagine her last hours. Darkness, a vehicle interior, argument escalating, fists, hands around throat, struggle, then limpness. Panic or calm calculation? Drive to Greenlee Road, pull over, drag her out, place her gently, almost tenderly in the ditch. Why the fetal curl? Did he pose her, or did she curl in pain? The poncho draped over like a blanket. Mockery? Mercy? Then drive away. Lights off, maybe. Heart pounding, or steady. Back to normal life. Wife? Kids? Job? He showered, slept, woke up free for 37 years, while she lay unnamed. Now named, now remembered, now demanding. He may have Googled her in 2018, saw the headline, felt ice in his veins. They know her name. But does he know they might soon know his? The highway still runs, but the shadows are shrinking.
Podcasts keep her story breathing. The Buckskin Girl episodes get millions of downloads. Listeners message tips, some wild, some eerily specific. One claimed a grandfather confessed on deathbed, "I heard a girl in Ohio once." Police followed. False. Another, a tattoo artist, remembered inking a man who bragged about taking care of a hippie chick. Vague, untraceable. But the volume of attention pressures authorities. "We owe her," sheriff's office statements read. "New grant money for DNA. Private labs offer pro bono. Momentum builds." Marcia would be in her 60s now. Gray hair, perhaps. Grandchildren, maybe. Instead, a headstone. But her legacy grows, inspires safety talks, hitchhiking warnings, trust your gut campaigns. She saves others posthumously. Her death ripples forward and backward to the man who caused it. He can't outrun time, or science, or conscience, if he has any left.
Forensic re-examination in 2025 yielded trace fibers. Polyester blend, not from her clothing. Perhaps from killer's car seat or jacket. Common in 80s trucks, blue or gray. Narrow's vehicle type. Old tip revisited. Dark pickup near rest area. Fibers could match. Labs compare. Slow process, but progress. Every thread pulls another. Hair roots tested again. Male mitochondrial DNA inconsistent with family. Not hers, someone else's. Killer or secondary transfer. Either way, profile strengthens. GED match uploads surge after media. Distant matches ping. Trees branch. One leads to a family in southern Ohio. Police watch quietly. Interview peripherally. No arrest yet. But names surface. Alibis checked. The circle tightens. Marcia's brothers follow updates. Hold breath. This could be it, one whispers. Hope fragile, but alive and growing. The grave has patience. Justice has more. What if he's gone? Natural causes, cancer, heart attack. Many from that era are. Then no trial, no confession, only questions. Family accepts that possibility. We want him caught, they say, but mostly we want peace for her. Naming her was half the battle. The other half? Truth. Full truth, even if it dies with him. But evidence suggests he may still live. Age fits, lifestyle fits, nomadic perhaps, or settled quietly, hiding in plain sight. Golfing, grandkids, church, the banality of evil. Meanwhile, her story teaches. Schools use it in safety classes. Parents warn daughters, don't trust every ride. Marcia's ghost protects now, invisible, persistent. And if he's out there, reading this, listening, know this, the road ends for everyone. Yours is coming, faster than you think. A small ceremony in 2025. 44 years gone. Family, investigators, a few locals. Candles along the cemetery path. Quiet songs. Stories shared. Marcia's favorite hymn. Laughter through tears. Remembering her silly jokes. Her wanderlust. She saw more of America than most, her brother said. She just didn't make it home. But she did, in a way. Back to Arkansas soil in spirit, Ohio earth in body. Named, loved. The killer's absence looms largest. No chair left empty for him. No place set. Only justice deferred. But not denied. Tips still trickle. A woman in Kentucky swears her uncle once kept a pair of women's shoes, size 7, in his attic. He said they were from a girl who didn't need 'em anymore. Police follow. Again. Always again. One day, it won't be again. It will be now. The hairs. 3 dark ones, not hers. Root intact on one. Nuclear DNA possible. 2026 labs prioritize her. Miami County pushes. This is solvable, they insist. Public pressure helps. Donations fund testing. Volunteers scour old records. The case breathes. Lives. Marcia would smile at that. Her fight continues through strangers, through science, through love. She hitchhiked toward light, found darkness, but light returns, in her name, in her story, in the promise, no one forgotten forever, not even in a ditch, not even for decades. The silent roadside grave spoke her name. Soon it may speak his, and when it does, the highways will feel a little less empty, a little less dangerous, because truth finally caught up. Speculation swirls online. Was he a cop? Knew how to avoid detection. Dump site too perfect. Or preacher, the way angle again. Control, secrets. Or ordinary man, neighbor, co-worker, someone who smiled at funerals, hid rage behind normalcy. Profilers lean toward the latter, the quiet ones, the ones no one suspects until they do. Marcia trusted easily, paid the price, but her trust now inspires caution in others. Balance, not paranoia. Awareness. She becomes lesson, icon, symbol. Young women share her photo. This could have been me.
Solidarity forms, virtual vigils, hashtags, justice for Marcia. It grows, reaches places she never saw. Her journey ended in a ditch. Her legacy stretches everywhere. And somewhere, a man turns off the news, heart racing, knowing the net is real and closing. One last forensic hope. Touch DNA on the blue rubber bands in her braids. She tied them herself. Perhaps he touched them, adjusting, taunting, removing. Microscopic skin cells, degraded but possible. Labs attempt extraction. Success rate low, but not zero. Every percentage counts. Meanwhile, isotope reanalysis confirms. Last month's in Midwest. She was close to home geographically when she died. Far emotionally, far from safety. The killer chose a spot 5 miles from I-75. Quick in, quick out, but not quick enough for eternity. Evidence waits, patient, silent, like her. But unlike her, it will speak, loudly, one day. The grave holds no more secrets from her, only from him, and those secrets are running out of time.
Family gathers yearly now, not just grief, celebration too, of her spirit, her courage. She lived big, they say, even if it was short. Photos pass around, stories, laughter, tears, healing. They thank the DNA Doe Project, the sheriff's office, the public. You brought her back to us, but they want more. The final piece, the who, the why. Answers incomplete without them. Yet they live with what they have, her name, her resting place, her memory, stronger than death, stronger than a killer's hands. Marcia endures, in every retelling, in every listener leaning closer to their speakers at night, wondering, waiting, hoping. The story isn't over, not while questions remain, and questions always remain until they don't. A 2026 anonymous letter arrived, postmarked Dayton, no return address. Inside, I saw her get into a green Chevy van spring of '81. Man driving had a scar on left cheek. They argued. She looked scared. Sketch enclosed, crude but detailed. Police chase it. Scarred men from that era interviewed. Many dead, some alive. Alibis checked. One matches vehicle type. Lives quietly now. No record, but proximity fits. Investigators watch, wait, gather more. No arrest. Not yet, but momentum. Always momentum. The letter writer, never identified. Perhaps conscience finally spoke. Perhaps fear. Either way, it moved the needle. Another crack, another thread, pulled. The killer, if alive, must sense it, must feel eyes on old scars, old vans, old sins. Nothing stays buried forever, not even on Greenlee Road.
Marcia's smile in life photos contrast sharply with death reconstructions. Alive, hopeful, eyes bright. Dead, peaceful, almost asleep. The violence hidden, but not erased. Autopsy photos locked away. only investigators see. They carry that weight, carry her, vow silently, we won't stop. New detectives inherit the file, read every page, feel the pull. Cold cases aren't cold to them. They're warm, alive, breathing through paper, through evidence, through memory. Marcia becomes their ghost, their drive, their reason. One young detective said, I think about her every night. What if it was my sister? It drives him, drives the team. The grave no longer silent. It whispers now, louder each year. Soon it may shout, and when it does, no one will sleep until it's finished.
Parallel cases haunt. Other women found along interstates, red hair, strangled, beaten, some solved, some not. Patterns overlap, but Marcia stands apart. No sexual assault, groomed, cared for appearance, perhaps interrupted, perhaps personal, perhaps first. Killers evolve or stop. Did he or did others die quieter deaths, unfound, unmaimed? Marcia broke through. DNA, publicity, persistence. She leads the way for others. Jane Doe's waiting. Her success inspires hope. Labs prioritize. Genealogists volunteer. The revolution continues because of her, because she lay silent 37 years, then spoke loudly, clearly. Her name echoes now in courtrooms, in labs, in living rooms late at night. Listeners feel it, the pull, the dread, the need for ending. It's coming, closer, inevitable.
If he's still driving those roads, does he remember the sound of struggle, the weight of her body, the ditch, the drive away? Or has time blurred it, softened edges, made it dreamlike? Probably not. Killers remember. Details sharpen with age, guilt or pride. Either way, etched. He may pass Greenlee Road still, slow down, glance, feel nothing, or everything. Perhaps he reads true crime books, watches documentaries, smiles at how close they get, never quite there. But they are there, closer than ever. DNA doesn't forget. Witnesses age, but memories surface. Letters arrive, phones ring. The net isn't visible, but it's real and tightening. He may think he won. He didn't. Not yet. Not while she's remembered. Not while justice breathes.
The final pieces wait in evidence lockers. Hairs, fibers, rubber bands, clothing, all hold potential. All wait for tomorrow's technology, tomorrow's match, tomorrow's confession or arrest. Miami County never shelves her, never will. She's family now, one officer said, and family doesn't quit. Nor does her real family. Brothers check in, hope, pray, live, but always with one eye on the case, one ear for the phone, one heart for her. The roadside grave has given what it can. Name, dignity, memory. Now the living must finish it, must find him, must end the silence he created. The night is long, but dawn comes for Marcia, for justice, for every listener still awake, heart pounding, waiting for the last word.
We've walked this road together, from nameless Jane Doe in a ditch to Marcia Lenore King, daughter, sister, dreamer. Her story isn't tidy, no neat bow, no dramatic confession on camera. Not yet, but it's real, painfully real, brutal, unfinished, yet full of light too. Light in her name restored, light in family healing, light in strangers caring, light in science chasing shadows. The killer took her life. He couldn't take her legacy. It grows, spreads, demands. One day, perhaps soon, the call will come. We have him, or he's gone, but we know. Either way, closure, peace, for her, for them, for us. The highways stretch on, but this stretch, this lonely part of Greenlee Road, will finally rest. When truth arrives, it always arrives.
Marcia Lenore King no longer rests unnamed. Her grave bears her name, her story bears witness. Yet her killer lingers in the unknown, perhaps still breathing, perhaps dust. The Miami County Sheriff's Office holds the line. Evidence waits. DNA advances. Tips persist. Family endures. Listeners remember. The silent roadside grave has surrendered its first secret. It will surrender the last. Somewhere a man feels time running thin, feels eyes he can't see, feels the weight of April 1981 pressing back. Justice doesn't rush, but it never stops. Thank you for traveling this dark mile with us. Sleep gently tonight, but know some roads never close, some truths never fade, and some graves eventually speak everything. Good night.
In the quiet back roads of rural Ohio, spring 1981, a young woman's body lay silent in a roadside ditch, unidentified, unnamed, her story buried with her. For 37 years, she haunted investigators as Buckskin Girl. This is her true American cold case, the silent roadside grave.
The silent roadside grave fades to black. Marcia has her name. Her killer has only shadows left. Justice travels slow, but it travels sure. Thanks for joining this true cold case. Stay aware, stay safe. The road remembers.